بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. So we were discussing تنازع of فعلان. What does that mean? When we have two verbs or more, or we have two or more عامل and they both need one ma'mul. Okay? Now here, for example, let's recap because it's been a long time. Let's say for example we have let's say for example we have جاء وذهب زيد. So جاء is the فعل, ذهب is also a فعل. زيد is what? Of which verb? It's a problem, isn't it? Both of them need a fa'il. So we call تنازع يتنازع تنازعا. Both the fans are disputing regarding the word Zaid. So what do we say here? So we did until here, and then we said here we missed out a whole long bunch, and it says that right at the end, في جميع هذه الأقسام يجوز إعمال الفعل الأول وإعمال الفعل الثاني. It's up to you. You can make this the fa'il, and this belongs to this, or you can say it belongs to this. Whatever one you want, it doesn't make a difference. Both are permissible. However, the preferred opinion is that you make this one, you make it belong to this, not to this. Yes, you remember? But obviously it's more detailed. This is where he overcomplicates us. He gives too many examples, he overcomplicates it, and especially for a beginner. But I mean, it's all useful. It's very, very useful information. But for a beginner, I don't think it's useful. But we're going to go through it anyways. But the main thing is, you have two files, and both of these files are what? Need the same file. So then, you can make any of them the file. What will happen now? So what we're saying here, now I need to recap again. So before we go on further, we need to recap. We said we have a jumla, and a jumla has a subject, a predicate. The subject is called what? The musnad ilay, and the predicate is called the musnad. And apart from that, and what's the musnad ilay? The mubtada, the fa'il or na'ib al-fa'il. Those are the topic of discussion, the fa'il, the subjects. And then you have the musnad, which is these two. Now, al-kalam, now obviously we're not dealing with jumla ismiyah. We don't have tanazu in jumla ismiyah. So remove mubtada and we remove khabar. So in jumla fi'liyah, we must have a fa'il and a fa'il. And we call these the umdatul kalam. What do you call these? You call these the umdatul kalam. Yeah. Sorry, right? So what happens here? You must have a fa'il and a fa'il, or to have a kalam. You can't have a kalam. You can have the maf'ulat. These are called fadl, extra bits. These are called umdatul kalam, meaning that the main elements of the kalam. Without these, the kalam doesn't exist. If I say ja'a, you say, well, ja'a who came? I don't understand. If I say zaydun what? If I say akala zaydun, say, yeah, I understand. He ate tamar, he ate apples, I don't know, but he ate. I understand that much. So without this, without the fadla, you can have a sentence. Without these two, you can't have a sentence, can you? Okay? Without the two, you can't have a sentence. Yes? Make sense? What we're saying here, we're saying that without a musnad ilay and a musnad, you can never have a kalam. The other parts are important, but without that, the kalam can still exist. Yes? Now we've got that. Let's look at something here now. Back to our tanazu' fa'lan masala. If we have two fa'ils, and the tanazu' is in an umda. Umda means the musnad ilay, because the musnad is going to be there, and the fa'il is going to be there obviously. There's two fa'ils, one amil, one ma'mul. So if the tanazu', meaning the disagreement, meaning the argument and the battle for custody, is regarding the umda, meaning both want, what do both verbs want? Both verbs want the fa'il. What do? We do izmar. Let me explain a second. So let's look at this example here. We have the word qama. We have the word qa'ada. Qama to stand, qa'ada to sit. The word qama needs a fa'il. Let's start from here. We have qa'ada, we have qama, wa qa'ada. And then we have here, let's say for example, ar-rajulan, or az-zaydan, ar-rajulan, yes? So now, this verb and this verb both need what? Rajulan. This, what does this need? This needs a fa'il. And qa'ada also needs a fa'il. Yes? Make sense? They both need a fa'il. And a fa'il is the umda fadla. Is it the main part of the kalam or the extra part of the kalam? So umdatul kalam. Can you remove a fa'il? No. So what happened now? If what you do, if we, like for example, the preferred option is you make this the fa'il of this. Then what do you do now? You do izmar, you bring a zamir. So the zamir of rajulan, you bring it in qama. You make this the amil. You do i'mal of this, you make this the amil. And then what do you do in the first verb? You bring a zamir. So you have qama, referring to rajulan. And then qa'ada rajulan. This is fa'il. This is fa'il. And this is fa'il with the fa'il built in. Do you understand? So this is issue. But in here there's, yes? But one problem in here is, so it's permissible, but one problem is what? What do we have here? A zamir before the main word. You get it? So even though it's permissible, but it's a bit not the best option, but you allow it. But it's a problem, isn't it? Because you have the zamir huma is zamir inside the fa'il, isn't it? Not the huma. The alif is the fa'il, isn't it? Referring back to the rajulan. So has the word, I can't say huwa ja'a zaydun sadiqi. If huwa refers to Zayd, how can you have huwa first? You say zaydun ja'a huwa sadiqi. You can't say it. You get what I'm saying? What do you say? You will say zaydun ja'a huwa sadiqi. What do you bring first? In English, the antecedent. You bring the zaydun first, then you bring the huwa. I can say, oh, he came. Zayd is my friend. So Zayd came and he's my friend, but he after the Zayd. So when you do this, you put the rajulan after the qama, the jewel in the qama. Do you understand this? You follow me? Now, so but they allow this because of necessity. Correct? If the both fail need an extra bit, can you have a kalam without the fadra? Without the maf'ul bihi and the other extra stuff? Yes. So if we have, for example, what do you have here? You have here nasartu wa nasartum. So I help and you help Zaydan. So nasara is fa'il fa'il. What does nasartu need? A maf'ulun bihi. What does this nasartu need? A maf'ulun bihi. Correct? They both need maf'ul bihi. So what we're going to do, we're going to make this the amil of this, and we're going to cut this off. But in here you don't bring a zamir. Because why? You can make the zamir mahsuf. You can make the zamir mahsuf, remove it. You can survive without the zamir, can't you? So what we do here izmar. We do hazaf, we do hazaf. We say no, there's no maf'ul for nasaratu. We understand it from the context. And it's mahzuf, but we won't bring it. We won't bring a zamir of nasaratu who. Because why? So what we say? We say nasaratu wa nasarani zaydun. So in nasaratu, you won't say, oh, because this is the amil of this. What's the tarkib here? Nasaratu, I help. Wa nasarani zaydun. So it really means nasartu zaydan. Isn't it? I help Zayd. But we won't put nasartu who here. Why not? Because who come before Zayd? And we allowed it previously because of the necessity, because you can't have. Okay? So let's say, for example, I have nasartu wa nasarani Zaydun. Okay? So in nasartu, what happens? Let's put it here. In this example, nasartu, yes? So nasartu and nasarani Zaydun, right? So in this example, what do we need here? This needs a maf'ulun bihi. And nasarani needs what? A fa'il. And what we're going to do, we're going to make nasarani the amil, because that's a preferred opinion. Now, nasartu needs what? A maf'ul. But can you have a but if I don't have a maf'ul, is it okay to say nasartu? Would the word nasartu be a sentence on its own, independently? Nasartu, with a fa'il inside. I helped. It doesn't get the full meaning, but it's a complete fa'al fa'il finish, isn't it? So we can survive without the maf'ul, and we understand the maf'ul from context. So what will happen here, you wouldn't bring a maf'ul, you won't say nasartuhu. Because what's the problem with that? If you say nasartuhu, we end up bringing the hu zamir before the word. And in the previous example, we allowed it because there was no option. Here we got option. If we take it off, because still it's okay. Do you understand? So when we have, if the fighters, they need a fadla, meaning a maf'ul bihi or a maf'ul fi or something, we remove it. You only bring a zamir when it's what? The umda, the main part, either meaning the fa'il basically. Okay? You can't say nasartuhu zaydun. Because what will happen? You will have izmar qabla dhikr, meaning a zamir before the actual word, which is a bad thing, but in the previous example we allowed it because of necessity. Do you understand? So that's the issue in tanazu of fi'lan. Yes? Now let's go into the text now. No, text. Okay? So we sing here. So let's go back to the text now. So now we explain the basics. So in theory, if it's too much beyond you, as I said to you, this extra bahal it's too much for a beginner. Simple is, when you have two fa'ils or two amil, need one ma'mul, you can make either the ma'mul, you can make either the amil, better make the second one the amil. Khalas. That's it. That's all that we need for a beginner level. But obviously, in the book, I've got to solve the book and explain the whole book. If you're finding it very, very difficult, don't give up. I don't want to put a shit off mentally. Try. If it's difficult, leave it. It's not that important. The main part I explained to you before is important. You have tanazu. It's very, very common tanazu. And it's not really an issue normally. You make any of them the amil, preferably the second one, and the first one, then you just make it's done. But all these extra details is there in the books. We're going to explain it. So if it's difficult, then don't get put off from Nahw because of this. This author, he wrote this a lot more detail. And once the discussion is finished, we're back to normal standard stuff. Okay? Right. So faslun. إذا تنازع الفعلان, when two verbs dispute في اسم ظاهر, regarding an ism zahir, meaning both of them want to become the amil of that one noun, and the ism zahir is after them. What does that mean? أراد كل واحد من الفعلين, each one of the verbs wants amila ya'malu to govern. Each one of the verb wants to govern, don't say in, this wants to govern that noun. So for example, say an example again. Ja'a wa dhahaba zaydun. What does that mean? Al-fi'lan, ja'a wa zayd, they do tanazu'. In what? An ism al-dhahir, they do tanazu' in an ism al-dhahir, which comes after them. Yes? So when two fi'ls dispute regarding a noun that comes after them, i.e., each one of them wishes to do amal on that. Okay? فَهَذَا إِنَّمَا يَكُونُ عَلَىٰ أَرْبَعَةِ أَقْسَامٍ. Now he says there's 4 ways it can happen. Yes? I said, keep the main rule in mind. He says this can happen in 4 ways. And before I go to the text, I'll explain the 4 ways. You have أول, ثاني, ثالث, and رابع. The first way is that what? Both of them want a fa'il. So darabani, fa'il maf'ul. Akramani is fa'lan maf'ul. And Zayd is the fa'il, of which both need them. So you have 2 fa'ils. They're both disputing regarding Zayd. And both need what? A fa'il. Correct? Number 2. Darabtu and akramtu. I hit and I honored. It doesn't make sense. How can you hit and honor at the same time? Anyways, darabtu wa akramtu, fa'il, fa'il, and Zayd becomes what? Of both of them. And they both need a maf'ul. Second scenario. Third scenario, darabani. What does darabani need? A fa'il. So Zayd needs to be the fa'il of that. And akramtu, that needs a maf'ul. So this needs a fa'il, that needs a maf'ul. Darabtu, example number 4. Darabtu needs a, and akramani needs a fa'il. So it says the 4 scenarios. Yes? Scenario 1, both need fa'il. Scenario 2, both need maf'ul bihi. Scenario 3, fa'il maf'ul. Scenario 4, maf'ul bihi, fa'il. Yes? Again, it's at this level, it's not, it's just at this level, but fine, we'll go ahead with it, inshallah. Yes? So he's explained now in text. الأول أن يتنازعا في الفاعلية فقط. The first scenario is that both of them dispute regarding the فاعلية, meaning both need what? A فاعل. ضربني وأكرمني زيد. الثاني أن يتنازعا في المفعولية فقط, is that they both dispute regarding the مفعول only. For example, ضربت وأكرمت زيدا. So both need مفعول. The third is that they dispute in فاعلية and مفعولية. أن يتنازعا في الفاعلية والمفعولية يقتضي demands or needs. So the first needs a فاعل والثاني المفعولة, and the second needs a مفعول. نحو ضربني وأكرمت زيدا. So this needs a فاعل and that is a مفعول. والرابع عكسه. The fourth is the عكس, opposite. What does that mean? The first needs a مفعول and the second needs a فاعل. So he says here, وَاعْلَمْ أَنَّ فِي جَمِيعِ هَذِهِ الْأَقْسَامِ. Know that in all of these types, يَجُوزُ إِعْمَالُ الْفَعْلِ الْأَوَّلِ, it is permissible to make the first فعل the عامل, and it's also permissible to make the second فعل the عامل. So know that in all of these cases, meaning all four of them, it is permissible to إعمال, to make the first فعل the عامل, to make governor, to make عامل, meaning to make what? Governing particle. I must spell correctly. To make the first فعل عامل and also to make the second. It's up to you. It's not a problem. You can do it either way. You get what I'm saying? That's all she said. إذا تنازع فمبتدئ إذا تنازع الفعلان في اسم ظاهر بعده يجوز إعمال أيهما شئت. خلاص. That's enough. But now all this extra stuff is coming in, so you have to go through it. Okay? Okay? Let's stop there, inshallah. Subhanallah, bihamdi, subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.